What is good, everyone? Welcome to today's trade recap of the day. Today is Thursday, April 16th, 2026. Let me go over today's price action. The one trade I'm taking today. Today I made $27,000 across my 3,500 accounts, around $800 across all of those accounts. Today was a beautiful day for longs. We had a beautiful retrace in the fair value gap. Then I took a long after that. We are now 2-1 in the week. Let's get into this. Woo! I do that shit. Around $800 across all my funded accounts. Around $800 across my All right, so let's get into this trade recap, guys. First things first, higher time frame. What are we in? We are obviously bullish. I don't know how much higher the market has to go up for people to start taking longs. I mean, the market is just, I don't know how many more green candles the market has to show, but people are still shorting. I don't believe, I genuinely, I see people shorting and my mind is blown. It's like, how much more obvious can this be? How much more obvious are these draws on liquidity? Why are we shorting? Who the fuck knows, right? And it's still people, like, it's newer traders that, obviously, it's people that I've been talking to for like 2 hours today in my Discord. Every single loss that people took today was because they're trying to short this extreme uptrend. Stop trying to short when we are in extreme uptrend. When we are trading up towards all-time highs, you will not get those perfect retraces into OTE of the range that you want, that you normally see. No, when we are in extreme uptrends like this in all-time highs conditions, what will you get? Very shallow retraces into gaps. Those lows will then be protected. You will rarely see those resweeps, and then price will distribute. You'll get accumulation, manipulation, and distributions. And that's what I caught today, a very beautiful AMD model on that time frame. And again, it's so frustrating to see because it's like I was in that exact scenario where I would always try to be shorting these conditions because I'm like, we are too premium. We need to be shorting. But no, just wait for price to give you that retrace and then take your longs. You do not have to be trying to be the hero here. You are not Michael Burry trying to short this. Anyways, I'm over raising my cortisol levels for this, but let's get into it. Hopefully, obviously, if you guys have been watching the trade recaps for long enough, you know to not be shorting in extreme uptrends and when we are so bullish. So hopefully you guys that watch these recaps didn't get cooked today, because that is a very, very common theme throughout all these recaps, is just to trade alongside that higher time frame trend. But that being said, let's get into the setup that I took today. All right, so coming into the day, what do I want to see happen? I want to see price retrace into a higher time frame fair value gap, that being this 4-hour bullish fair value gap right here. We have a beautiful unmitigated 4-hour right here. And why do I also like this so much? If we look on the 15-minute time frame, we do have this little internal sell model, right? As you can see here, we have this little range here. We have all these swing lows. We mark this out, and where is the obvious imbalance in this range? Where are all the massive green candles in displacement? Oh, right around here. This aligns perfectly with that 4-hour gap, which is why I like it so much. But again, a lot of you guys just immediately when we tap into like a 4-hour gap here, you're like immediately looking for longs. Look lower time frame than that. Looking within those gaps, look at the 1-hour. Look right here. Look at this beautiful 1-hour. Look at the 15-minute time frame, right? And you can clearly see that the end of that sell model is around here. So from there, you can then wait for your confirmation. And that's that, right? I talked about this in like 3 or 4 trade recaps ago. I can't really remember, but I talked about this exact scenario right here. And if you're trying to long in this shit, you are going to get chopped around. You need to wait for price to complete that internal sell model, and then you can take those longs. So I was really, really confident with the longs today. And let's get into it, because this was where a lot of people got chopped around. And if you just simply were staying patient and you had your conditions set out for the day, which was what I was doing, I was just waiting, being patient. You're not going to take any early longs here. I saw a bunch of people, 30-second long here. No, not good. Be patient. Just wait. So there's shorts playing out here. But like, are shorts really high probability, guys, against this huge, massive buy model we are in? No, please stop trying to short this shit, because you are going to get chopped around. Instead, wait for this accumulation to happen, wait for your manipulation to then happen, and then just take the distribution, okay? So again, accumulating. And I love this, because what is 930 doing here? Do we have manipulation higher? No, we just literally generated liquidity at these highs. We didn't take out this high. We generated liquidity at this high. 930 opened up, and then now we're starting to manipulate. We're starting to have another accumulation flip phase. And now look at this. We're going to get a beautiful manipulation move right here. Leave behind also this unfilled 15-minute gap up here. And we traded down into this 4-hour gap. We traded down into this discounted little hourly. We also traded down into that, that 15-minute gap as well. And now this is what I want to see. So highest time frame gap in this leg, Well, we're going to make it right here, and it's around this 5 minute, right? So there's no inverses here that I like because it's not the highest time frame in this leg. There's a 2 minute here, there's a 3 minute here, there's all these gaps here. But what do I know right now? I know that this low is protected. I just know that this low is protected because, again, that extreme buy model, the reaction we had, the wick we had right here. Now, I obviously need a little bit more confirmation. I can wait for that for maybe a retrace into the wick, see if we get a nice reaction off that, see how we're reacting off of the unfilled gaps. But that's what I was waiting for, right? So now we're opening up 10 a.m. here. So 10 a.m. open. What do I want to see with this 10 a.m. candle? Well, if we look on the 4-hour time frame, right, what did we form here? We formed a massive wick. This is a rejection block now, okay? I talked about rejection blocks. I've been using them in the past like 2 or 3 weeks, honestly. I've started implementing them into my live trading. Been backtesting with them a lot. Basically, quick overview on rejection blocks is it's just a wick that trades into a higher time frame key level. So, for example, let's just go here. You see how we have a wick that trades into a higher time frame key level, trades into this for a rally gap. You can just mark out the wick right here, and then you can use this as basically a key level, and you can think of this as like a gap to send you higher. So that's what I was thinking right here. Because I don't want to wait for price to distribute, wait for a whole 5 minute for a rally gap to form, then wait for the retrace, then take the inverse. Like, no, I know this low is protected. I just need some sort of confirmation out of that. And that's why rejection blocks are just so useful. So 10 a.m. is opening up here, right? You can go back to 10 a.m. open right here. And we have this 4-hour for rejection block right here. So I want to see price retrace into this 4-hour rejection block, specifically equilibrium of this range, or CE of the wick. I love it when we get that CE of the wick. It's not necessary for rejection blocks, I don't think. But yeah, just from what I back tested, it's just like, it's nice when we get that CE of the wick. It's the same thing with like for rally gaps, right? You don't have to get CE of the for rally gap every time. A lot of times we just retracing the for rally gap and then dump or whatever, or pump. So it's a similar scenario with rejection blocks, right? It's just like for rally gaps. So anyways, we retrace here, 10 a.m. We have an open low. If we go on the 30-second time frame, bada bing, bada boom, trade down into this rejection block, and now we have a fair value gap right here. Perfect. 10 a.m. opens lower. Did we go and hit this 5 minute gap and open high? No. Same thing with 9:30, right? We just keep adding to the liquidity, and we have now this accumulation, manipulation, and now I want to see price distribute. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is exactly what I was waiting for. And do we have to also, guys, go down to this low? Do we have to sweep out this intermediate low? Is that necessary? No, price does not need to do that because this should be a protected low, especially when we're in these extreme uptrends. Price tends to just leave these lows as protected, and we don't go back and resweep this low. It's not necessary, right? So as long as we get that retrace into CE of this rejection block, as long as we retrace into that wick and we get distribution, that's the confirmation I need. And that 4-hour rejection block aligned with that 4-hour for rally gap is going to be my key level for this 30-second inverse here. And we have a beautiful mechanical setup here, being we have the unfilled 5 minute as a break even spot. I love that for mech models, right? So I take my inverse there. I think I got filled around here or something. And then I ended up taking about a 1.34 RR. I could have held for higher prices, being like this unfilled 15-minute gap. I could have done that, but there's a lot of my accounts right now just have these consistency rules that are pretty annoying. So I just closed at my piece of the pie, man. That's really all I needed. So that's that. But that being said, that was the setup I took today. Piece of the pie right there. Beautiful. Well, this would have gone break even. Yeah, imagine. Anyways, but yeah. Beautiful. You obviously could have held to that 15-minute gap. You also could have probably taken that 5-minute inverse later on in the session. Same idea. You're just waiting for that 5-minute inverse manipulation like here. And then you're targeting this accumulation zone highs, this accumulation highs right here. So there's a lot of setups today. But that was the setup I took. So that's that. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Hopefully you guys aren't fucking taking shorts, because I can't tell you how many people I see taking shorts, bro. I was in my Discord chat for like 2 hours today just talking with people, and the 99% of people taking, actually almost 100% of people I saw taking a losing trade today was because they shorted. So that just goes to show. But yeah, you live and you learn. That's the motto. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, if you guys want to start copy trading with multiple funded accounts like this, you can do that using Trade Syncer. Link in the description below. Also, a bunch of discounts out right now, 90% off Apex. I think there's around like 15% off Alpha right now, and then 40% off Tradeify. So links in the descriptions for that if you guys want to sign up with those prop firms. And I'll see you guys in the next trade recap video. I'm probably going to drop a vlog here soon, so be on the lookout for that. But I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace out.